How's it going, YouTube, and welcome to Big Friendly Gardener. I'm Jack, and today on the channel I'm going to be showing you 5 tips on how to get a healthier lawn. Before we get into it, I just want to point out that this lawn is still a work in progress. Me and my wife moved into this house last January, and the first thing I did was tear apart the old lawn, remove some trees. There should be some photos on screen now. So since then, I finished it in October of last year. We've had a winter. It's had 2 cuts since then where it has suffered with some weeds, some crabgrass, and just patches that need filling after sorting the lawn out. So I think this is a great time to introduce this channel, learn some awesome gardening tips and follow our progress. So as I said, this video is 5 steps on maintaining a healthier lawn. So I'll give you a little rundown of some of the issues I've got going on this lawn. And hopefully in the future videos you'll see that we've combated them with the tips that you have learned in this video. As you can see here, we've got a little bit of patching going on there and also some unwanted weeds. Now the best way to combat the weeds is a bit of manual labour and actually pull them out. Dispose of them in the bin, do not leave them on the grass. The other methods to get some more entangled weeds such like this, if they are harder to get out, or if you've got dandelions and things like that, then just follow the steps in these videos and we will show you right now how to combat it. More issues here, you can see we've got some dead yellow areas and maybe the grass just needs a little bit more fulfillment. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how to do that, so let's get on with it. Before we get into your 5 tips on how to have the healthiest lawn possible, you're going to need some equipment. I'm going to show you that equipment now. Now, just to let you know, there will be links in the description for all of this equipment. It's an Amazon partner program. I've made sure I've sourced the best deals for you. However, I do get a small percentage of their profits for commission. So it doesn't cost you anything, but it helps support the channel. Make sure you catch for all the links for this equipment in the description below. So let's get on to the equipment that you're going to need to fulfill the 5 steps in this video. First of all, we have a rake. Now it's just a standard garden lawn rake. As you can see, it's the metal type, and you'll see how we use that in the video. Also added, now this is an additional item, you don't 100% need it, but it will make your life a lot easier. A leaf rake. Now you'll see what we do with this, but it will make your life a lot easier. The next item, a garden fork. Again, keep watching and you'll see how we use it. So this again is optional. This I'm going to use for aerating. It's instead of the garden fork. It's a little bit less labour intensive, however it does cost a little bit more, but it will be in the description as optional. You'll see what's necessary and optional in the description. Next, and the most important item, is a sprinkler. This is my favourite type of sprinkler. I've gone through many types. This is my favourite, the oscillating garden sprinkler. This is the cheapest one I can find, and to be honest with you, they all do the same job, which is brilliant. You can literally pick one of these up for around £5. Again, it will be in the description. Another optional item, a seed or fertilizer spreader. Again, there's nothing wrong with your hands, but this game is about saving your back and using less energy. Right, now you know what you need. Let's get on with the 5 steps. Step number 1, first and foremost, is to rake the lawn. Now this is necessary because imagine you are in an escalator full with loads of people, and when you get out you just feel free. And that's what raking your lawn does. All the grass is surrounded by dead moss, dead grass, and it needs to be free. So let's get on with how to do that. Just grab your rake and literally pull up, brush it along the surface, applying a little bit of pressure, like so. And that's going to bring up all the dead grass and moss. So I better get on with doing the rest of it. So that's done. As you can see, we've now scarified the lawn. I know I called it raking before, but the term is to scarify. We've just done it manually with a rake. That's why I said step one, rake the lawn. It's actually scarifying. But we've got all of this dead stuff out. Now, I actually did this yesterday. This is still quite a lot of dead grass and moss to get out. Now, do you remember when I said you might need this for a little bit less hard work? I'll show you why. This leaf rake is less intrusive than the metal one. So it means when you brush it across the ground, it doesn't damage the grass or soil, and you can scoop it all into one big pile. So let me get that done. Big pile there is what I collected yesterday. And as you can see, these are all the piles that I've literally just done now. So that's 2 days worth of dead grass and moss. Now this stuff, the reason why we've raked it up, you do not want to leave this on the grass. First reason is if there is any bad stuff in there, you're keeping it in the grass and it will just go back in. So all this hard work that you've learnt in these 5 steps will be wasted. And also, as I said, suffocating the grass is not what we want. If you've been using fertiliser and things like that, I'll explain later on in the video, but you shouldn't really use it for compost. If you know that your grass is clean and you haven't had any chemicals on it, then it's fine to use for compost. However, we'll get this in the gardening bin and show you the next step. That's step number 1 complete, which was scarifying / raking. Next, what we're going to do is aerate the lawn. So what this basically means is putting lots of little holes into the lawn itself to aid 2 things really. One, again, that whole breathing thing, it allows the ground to breathe, and also any nutrients that we stick on this lawn can go straight to its roots rather than sit on top. So it's going to aid that. Now I've got 2 methods for this. If you remember, I had the garden fork and the fancy aerator thing. I'll show you both ways now, just in case you do buy that easier option. So the good old garden fork. You don't want to go too deep with this. As you can see on my fancy one, the spikes are only around 4 to 5 inches long. So I did this yesterday, so I'm not going to do the whole lawn. Too much can be too much for the lawn, too much of a shock. It's the same with the scarifying. If you think, oh, look how much stuff I've got out, I've got to do it again, resist the urge. You can always do it again in 4 to 5 weeks, because too much shock to the grass will just kill it. Same as over mowing, over scarifying, or over aerating. It can all kill it. Even overfeeding, it can all kill it. So make sure you do these steps every 4 to 5 weeks. I will explain that in the rest. Anyway, moving on. Garden fork, about that deep maximum. And all you're going to do is go along, dig the holes into the ground, and you'll literally see these little holes in the lawn. You're going to go along in a line and do the whole lawn. Now, as I said, I have a less labour intensive version, which is this little bad boy. So all of these are spring loaded, it rotates itself, and the way to use that, put it on the ground and push. Now you saw how long that took with the fork. I've literally done around 30 centimetres there with the garden fork, and it took a while. I've just done double that with that in 1/10 of the time, so I definitely invest in one of these if you're serious about a healthy lawn. So that brings us on to step number 3. So step number 3. Step number 3 is feeding the lawn, weed killer and moss killer. Now the products I've chosen today are my personal favourite that you can just go and buy off the shelf. I know for any avid gardeners out there, I know for a fact that there are 1, better feeds and killers, and 2, ones that are unsafe for the likes of children or pets. So the reason why I've chosen these products that I'm going to show you is because they're safe for pets. You can get them on the shelf, literally in a supermarket or in the link in the description. And I know for a fact that I won't bring harm to any of you. So these are safe to use. So the first product I'm going to show you. Now this is a really concentrated product. This is just lawn weed killer. As it says, it kills the weeds, not the lawn. There's a variety of weeds this will kill: clover, dandelion, not sure about crabgrass. However, it quotes that there's up to 12 different strains of your UK garden weeds that it will kill. Now I'll show you how to use that, where to use that, and what it looks like when it works. The second product we're going to use today, the link is in the description for both of these. I found you the best price possible for you at home. Again, this is an all-in-one lawn feed, moss killer and weed killer. This is the brand Westland Aftercut. Now, despite the name, do not use this after every cut. You want to be leaving around 6 weeks between applications of this stuff, because it is powerful stuff. Although it is safe to use for pets and children, it's going to take a toll on the grass. Okay? I must just say that this is only safe for pets and children once it's been watered in, but that kind of ruins one of the steps. So it's safe for pets and children, okay? Make sure you're following all the steps though. For the weed control, I'll read it off the box. Again, 12 types of weed: common dandelion, white clover, daisies, ribwort plantain, and creeping buttercup. Plus there's a load of extras there that I'm not going to bore you with. So like I said, 6 weeks in between applications. When you're using this product, if you're doing it by hand, make sure you wear gloves. Everything is listed on the back on how to use it. So if you do forget, please make sure you read the box. This is a really great formula. Again, this is really reasonably priced. At time of purchase, this was £8. However, I'm going to try and source a better deal for you. So again, link will be in the description. If you're wondering about the fertilizer mix, this is a 10 to 2 to 2. That's basically 10% nitrogen, 2% phosphorus peroxide, and 2% potassium oxide. Now again, I said at the beginning, I know that there are stronger or better products out there to the trade or keen gardeners. However, I'm trying to make this accessible for everyone. So let's get on to how to use these. So first of all, I'm going to start with the concentrated Resolver Lawn Weed Killer Extra. Again, this is the only one that I could find that was safe for pets or children. The others claim to work in an hour, but I can imagine that they're really strong. So I'm going to turn the safety cap off. Make sure you always set that back so children can't get a hold of this and hurt themselves. Now, let's get on to using it. Here we have a pesky weed. I've got my trigger. It's set ready, the safety's off. Spray from 20 centimetres. Now I gauge 20 centimetres as the bottle, so bottle height, done. Spray it on. Now I'm going to show you, see that little yellow bugger there? I sprayed that this morning, which was around 6 hours ago, and that's already started to die. So this product is a really good product. Again, the link will be in the description. Okay, so I've got my fertiliser and lead spreader. I'm going to fill it up, as you can see, nice and safe. I'm just going to put about half in there, because if I need more, I can always top it up. And all I'm going to do, spin my handle, walk along the grass as it spreads. I know that sow rate's perfect, so as long as I keep moving, I'm going to get an even spread. I'm going to do that now. Okay, so that's all done. You could see how easy that was with the spreader. Again, if you're doing it by hand, you're still going to achieve the same results. Remember, this is not safe for pets or children until we water it in, which brings me on to step number 4. Step number 4, water the lawn. As I said at the beginning of the video, I use the oscillating sprinkler. I'm going to be doing this at the end of the video, but step number 4 for today. So if you followed step number 1, Scarify, step number 2, aerate, step number 3, weed and feed, step number 4, water, that'll be done for today. And then you want to carry out step number 5, which I'll get onto. Back to number 4. So with the watering, with the watering, for a new lawn, you want to be watering the whole lawn twice a day. For a fully established lawn, you'll probably get away with it once a day. Just make sure you cover the whole area, and even with this weed and feed, you could even just use a hose pipe to make sure it is totally watered in. You could do it at this time of evening. I mean, it's 8 at night for me, so I know that there's going to be no pets or children on this lawn, so it will be watered in and safe in the morning. Good tip. So far we have carried out 4 steps for you to get a healthier lawn. Step number 5. Step number 5 is the way you cut the lawn. So after the weed and feed, you do not want to be cutting the lawn in the next 4 days. And also, if you're mulching, make sure you do not mulch for at least 6 weeks. For those of you that don't know what mulching is, you get certain types of mower that pit all the excess, all the grass cuts back into the lawn for nutrients. As I said, too much fertiliser can kill the lawn, so do not mulch for 6 weeks after this step. If you just got a normal cutter where the blades of grass go into the bag, don't worry about that. After the first 4 steps, wait 4 days, and now you're on to step number 5, cutting the lawn. Now, as I said earlier on in the video, overdoing anything for the lawn can shock it and kill it. Over scarifying, even over watering, too much sun, too much aeration, too much feed, it will kill your lawn. So cutting, please imagine that this is a blade of grass. Obviously you're not going to see a blade of grass. When you're cutting, if this is the length of your grass, if this is what you've let it, you only want to be taking around 1/3 of the grass blade maximum. This is a massive step for a healthy lawn. It means that you're not killing the lawn off too much. Now what that means is it's not going to repair and then grow stronger. It can literally just carry on growing and growing and growing into the healthiest lawn that you want. So imagine that's your blade of grass. We'll go with, okay, so it's around 9 finger whips for me. So I only want to be taking around that much off the top. Now on this big bit of wood, that looks like quite a lot, but if you can imagine you've only got about a 10 mil length of grass blade, that's only 3 mil. So that's your last step for a healthy lawn. Combining all those steps, this will grow into a really healthy lawn. As I said to you, since last year, this is the first time I've been out in the garden to properly go over the lawn. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. I can't wait to see some of your lawns and how healthy they get using these 5 steps. Again, thank you so much for watching my channel, Big Friendly Gardener. I'm Jack. It's been great to get my first video out there. Let me know in the comments what you thought of it. Again, make sure you don't miss out on those deals in the description. I hope you've gained a lot from this. If you do have any questions, just ask them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. It's time to get my sprinkler on. Have a good day, and again, see you in the next video.